My name is Mohamed Bashir Ibrahim. Today being the 25th of July 2025, I'll be presenting global HR strategies. I'll be giving a comparative analysis of the international human resource management practices across the 4 continents. To start with, I'll start with the IHRM in a global context. The international HRM coordinates strategies of global workforce with varied environments of different cultures and laws. Global HRM requires cultural sensitivity, effective adaptation, and orientation towards international business objectives. The practitioners in HR should learn to accommodate the regional variations in their approaches of recruiting, training, and engaging with the employees. Globalization brings about a need of context-specific HR practices since it requires good performance and compliance in all regions. To start with, I'll start with the international human resource management in America, the organizational behavior and challenges faced in America. The American HRM focuses on the workplace culture of diversity, equal opportunity, and performance. The medical and legal work-related requirements demand compliance with the HR on wages, benefits, and safer workplace standards. Immigration policies generate serious difficulties in talent acquisition and management of the workforce. Inclusive leadership and strong onboarding is embraced by companies to facilitate the integration of diverse workforce. The best practices of the international human resource management in America would be first, performance appraisals, which are fact-based, where there is a focus on quantifiable key performance indicators and professional growth. In most international corporations, firms are required to engage in diversity and inclusion training programs. There's also a flexible working regime, which helps workers and contributes to their retention in competitive markets. Another practice in the American human resource management field is the HR technology tools which enhance employee interactions, analytics, and live performance monitoring. Moving on to the second continent of Eurasia, the international human resource management organizational behavior and challenges. To start with, there's centralized human resource models are very popular in many of the post-Soviet or authoritarian influenced countries. There's also an issue of political shifts and economic swings, which have a great amount of influence on the workforce planning and contracts. There's language and national barriers limit where work in a transnational firm gets done and undermines the HR integration. Local employment acts vary greatly, making compliance very difficult for various multinational companies. Looking at the best practices for international human resource management in Eurasia, to start with, the hybrid models of HR are very flexible in balancing the regional control and the alignment of headquarters. There's also the issue of field-based hiring, which improves cultural fitment and company loyalty. The thrust of training is language, digital literacy, and global business etiquette. Multinational companies provide very country-specific incentives that are compatible with the economic status and the labor market situation. Moving on to international human resource management in Africa, the organizational behavior and challenges. To start with, human resource practices in Africa are influenced by high unemployment levels. It focuses on job creation and training. The human resource digital transformation is problematic by limited infrastructure and digital gaps. The labor laws are also not uniform, and most economies have informal industries. The latter makes it hard to retain talent because of brain drain and its inability to provide enough career development opportunities. Some of the best practices of the international human resource management in Africa would be employer branding and trust, which are enhanced by community relations and CSR activities. The focus is put on the development of the local workforce via the use of internships and skill-based training. There's also internal mobility of companies, which helps to retain talent and save on hiring the team members externally. There's the collaborations with the NGOs and the government, which also enhances the training and placements. Moving on to another continent, that is Oceania, the International Human Resource Management Organizational Behavior and Challenges. We know that Australian and New Zealand policies on HR focuses on work-life balance. Talent selection and career advancement is hampered in remote and rural areas. The indigenous employment schemes narrow down the historical gaps and enhance diversity. The difficulties of global companies to fit in decentralized informal workplace standards. Some of the best practices of international human resource management in Oceania would be the areas of focus: deliver state-of-the-art HR technology and immediate employee interaction. There's flexible working patterns, and hybrid are more satisfying and productive to employees. There's also university partnership and regional training hubs, which are methods of building talent pipelines. There's also the inclusive leadership supports innovations and cultural safe workplace. A comparative analysis of the 4 continents in terms of the leadership style, their recruitment, their training, their performance management, their compensation, the challenges, and the best practices are also I've also highlighted them. In America, looking at America, the leadership style is transformational, the recruitment is inclusive hiring, the training is frequent, the performance management is KPI based, the compensation is very competitive, the challenges is immigration policies, and the best practices would be diversity and inclusion initiatives. Coming to Eurasia, the leadership style is authoritarian, the recruitment is centralized, the training is language focused, the performance management is output driven, the compensation is modest, the challenge is the political and economic risks, while the best practices are the hybrid HR models. In Africa, the leadership style is participative. The recruitment is local talent sourcing. The training is more community driven, while performance management is informal, and the compensation is variable. Challenges are, of course, the high unemployment rates, and the best practices are the CSR programs and upskilling efforts. In Oceania, the leadership style is coaching. The recruitment is regional ties, the training is tech-enabled, the performance management is well-being focused, the compensation is balanced, the challenges is remote, urban, rural, talent shortages, and the HR tech and flexible work models are some of the best practices. I've also provided a graph that highlights the unemployment rate in percentage by the 4 regions or the 4 continents in the year 2024, with Africa having the highest unemployment rate and the Oceania having a slightly lower unemployment rates. In conclusion, and focusing on the future trends in international human resource management globally, I'd say the HR practices are vital to overcome the geopolitical and cultural complexities in contextualization. There's incorporation of AI, virtual work, mobility of world talent will be the trend of the future international human resource management. The cross-cultural skills will play important roles in building integrative and dynamic HR strategies. International human resource management needs to transform according to changes in climate, demographics, and digital trends that affect the international workforce. In conclusion, and focusing on the future trends in international human resource management globally, I'd say the HR practices are vital to overcome the I've also provided the relevant references in my PowerPoint presentation, some of which are Adam AK, with modern challenges. Adam, aka 2020, who offers the modern challenges of human resource management, practice in job placement and recruitment, and others. Thank you.
Let's see.